Okay, in this video, we're going to look at troubleshooting a few different things. If you're new to Java, it's sometimes intimidating to look through the errors. So here, we're looking at it, and it looks correct. It looks like a typical print statement, system.out.print, and I've got, things in a string, and I'm passing in this username into this position here, this %d. But I'm getting this error, and when I hover over the little light bulb here, I mean, it's giving me a whole bunch of errors. It says no suitable method found for print string, method print stream.print boolean is not applicable. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Well, what it is, if you look at system.out, and you start doing the print, you can see there's actually several different types of prints. So there's prints, objects, printing strings, booleans, chars, char arrays, all kinds of different things. But only one of them actually allows for formatting and special, argument handling, and that's printf. So what it is we're not using the appropriate print method. And if you look carefully, so printing a string would be this one here, right? Print with a string. When we look at our method, it's actually telling us that if we read it carefully enough. It says no suitable method found for print, and the arguments are string, comma, string. So there's no print method that accepts two strings. There is, however, a printf method that does. So if we use printf, now we have gotten rid of our syntax errors, or sorry. But when we go to run it, we're going to run into something called, so we'll type in a name. But we get this error now comes up, and we're like, oh my. So when you see these, this is called a stack trace. And you can see here's where our program started, and then it was about to print our name. And then we've got all these, this whole bunch of errors here. And what you do is you start at the very bottom, and you start going up until you see a line of code that you wrote. So we wrote the program we're working with is error example. So if I click on this, it takes me right to the line that caused the error. Okay, so it's line 22. And if I go up here, this is sort of how it steps through all the different classes to eventually get to this exception. And it says here, it's an illegal format conversion exception. And what that is telling us is that something with these and the arguments we're passing in, they don't match. And it says D does not equal a string. So D is actually, it represents a decimal number, not a floating point number with decimal places, but decimal meaning base 10. So this special formatting utility that the print has doesn't allow for a string to be passed into something that's expecting a decimal. And you can actually look these up. Let's go here. Try format characters in Google. Let's see what comes up. We should be able to hopefully get a list of these. There we go. So, so here's all of the different converters. Let me just zoom in a bit. It's probably pretty small in the video, right? So we can use, B for booleans, H for hex, right? S is for strings, right? Results is a two-string method. So when we're looking in our code, we need to make sure we're using the right one. So if I'm passing in a string, I change that to an S. Now when I run it, type in the name Fred, and it says your name is Fred. And then on the very next one, we get this unknown format conversion exception. And although it's not showing any errors here in our code, the reason we're getting this is this %, it's a special identifier. It's an escape character of sorts that is telling you whatever letter follows is a special character, and it's telling us. So in this case, it would be like a floating point number. Because I have a percent and then nothing following it, it actually doesn't know what to convert it into. It's not a placeholder. Now, if I wanted to show a percent, right, because I was trying to show my grade, the way you do it is you actually say percent. And then it's going to cause one more error. In this case, we got the illegal format conversion exception again. So it's no longer this one, okay? The issue here now is it says f, which is a floating point number, is not equal to an integer, okay? So if I changed my data type here to say double, it would work. Now I might not want to have all those decimal places, so I could clean this up by saying, 0.0, right? So when you're working with floating point numbers, you can put in a decimal and then how many digits right of the decimal you want. Okay, and that will clean it up. Or I could have changed, if I want this to be handled as an integer, all I have to do is make sure I have the right conversion here, which is D. It would work as well. All right, thanks very much.